I just got an amazing surprise in my Cherokee Trail of Tears beans. So I'm making this video to share with you how to grow them, but I also want to share a really sweet surprise in my beans. You won't believe it.
All I have needs, I have not provided.
Cherokee Trail of Tears beans quickly became one of my most favorite things to grow in the garden. You plant them, you string them up, you let them grow until the beans are dry. It's that easy. But there's a couple of challenges that can come along with it and some beautiful, pleasant surprises. My garden beds are about 3 feet across, and so I planted 2 rows of beans, and then as they came up, I could judge where to drive the stakes so that I could supply the string for them. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but they really do seem to prefer going up the poles, so I'm not real sure that the strings are all that important, but I just do it just to be on the safe side. So it's been 3 months since I planted the first seeds, and as you can see here, we have beans that are in different stages of maturity. So they first start out as a little tiny green bean, and then they continue to fill out with their beans. Some of your pods are going to have a ton of beans in them, and others are just going to have a very few. So this one is close enough to go ahead and pick, but you can leave them until they're completely dry, weather permitting. Here's one that's pretty dry. So right in here are some that are pretty dry. I'm going to go ahead and pick those. So you see here, they don't all ripen at the same time. So at this stage, you need to go through your vines every day or every few days and see if there's any more that are ready. If your pods are not completely crackly dry, and these are not, they're getting there, then what you do is you take them indoors where it is dry and just let them dry out for a few days. And once those pods are really crackly dry, they're so easy to split open and push those little black beans out. Now, I did say that you just plant them, string them up, and let them grow until they're dry. Well, here in Central Florida, now that June is right around the corner, we're going to be headed right into a 3-month-long rainy season. And sometimes that means a heavy thunderstorm every single day. That's just the way the weather is here in Florida. So the problem that you can have when your beans are at this stage and they're not quite dry, you pick them before they start drying out. So if your beans have turned dark like that, you can go ahead and harvest them. The beans are a beautiful purple color right now. But keep in mind, they're not dried yet. So when they dry, they're going to be a very dark purple, almost black. And they'll look more like this. Let's see. These are probably still a little purple. You see how tough that is for me to pull that open? Once they're dry, they're really, really easy to just crack open. See here how they're already dark? Look at the difference. And this is how I will be storing them. When they're completely, totally dry, then just put them in a jar and put them in your pantry. If you want, you can store them in your freezer. These guys here are what I use to plant next year's crop. So be sure you save some back. And don't try dehydrating them to hasten up the drying process, because then you won't be able to plant those seeds. The dehydrator is just too warm to preserve the viability of your seeds. So if you do harvest them at this stage, just know you're going to have to let them dry. So the problem with leaving them on the vines, once they get past this stage or so and it's raining every day, they don't dry, they mold and they spoil. Even the beans inside will spoil. So just keep an eye on the weather, and if they're gonna be wet days, one right after another, and they're not drying out, you may have to go ahead and start harvesting your beans as soon as they look purple, or sometimes they look yellow because they're starting to, deteriorate due to all the weather. So over the past few weeks, I've been coming through and admiring the blooms and looking at the beans as they start to grow, and never noticed something. And about a week ago, I was really looking up under here. I just now discovered that I found a nest about a week ago, and when I just now did this, I heard fluttering. There's beautiful little eggs in it now. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to leave them alone. And do I harvest the beans? I think it's a thrush. I'm not real sure. I'll have to look it up and see. Okay, I'm going to be super careful not to touch anything. Look down in there. Yeah, well, my hope is it's a brown thrush, or it could be a mockingbird. I don't think it is. But if it's a brown thrush or a mockingbird, they tolerate humans around pretty well. So I'm just going to not harvest the peas or the beans right around that particular area. And those eggs, according to my research, I thought the nest had been emptied. I thought that the little babies had flown the nest already. Had no idea they were going to be laying eggs in it. I thought it was used. So anyway, within about a week, they should be hatching, and within another week after that, they'll be gone. So I'll just maybe lose some beans that are in that area, and that's okay. That is a pleasant surprise that you were able to share with me. That is so cool. I looked at the video where the bird flew off, and I thought it was a brown thrush. It looked like it. So I looked up the color of eggs for a brown thrush, and it is a brown thrush. Now don't worry, they are very, very friendly. And I've worked around them within 2 feet of their nest before, and it was fine. But I'm not going to get anywhere near the Cherokee Trail of Tears for a few days, just to give her some peace and let her hatch her little babies. Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe? I have over 200 videos that'll teach you how to grow a garden organically.